And as we are dealing with users with different characteristics, different capabilities, different backgrounds, establishing a successful user relationship is really complex. And also don't forget the technology is always improving, so the desire and demands of users also improving as well. The goal of e-government related user relationship management is the maintenance of user relation to induce users that have already used a service to use this service again or to use another service of the service offering. So consider that you are using your smartphone, you download an application, then you download another application to use it, or you use another service provided by that application, like the same logic. This management process consists of a sequence of a phase: awareness, consideration, usage, reconsideration, dissatisfaction, and recovery. Normally, dissatisfaction is perceived as a bad thing or the negative comments, but we shouldn't think it that way. Dissatisfaction gives the areas which are problematic and can be solved, so we can increase the satisfaction and we can recover those users. So getting negative feedback for the website or for any e-commerce site is not good, which is a good thing because you can see the areas that your site is not functioning properly. So we have an example of management guru here, Peter Drucker. If you can't measure, you can improve it. So it shows the importance of measurement. The planning and steering of an individual phases should be accompanied by appropriate performance indicators so you can understand whether you are hitting the targets or not. And that will support impartial measurement of the success of the particular activities. Therefore, in the next page, you will see a figure which shows the performance indicators, which will enable to understand the topic clearly. The first stage is awareness, and in there you can check number of page impressions, the growth rate based on your visitors, and the acquisition cost for a unique visitor. Then consideration stage, conversion rate of visitors to users. So how many of visitors you have and how many of them converting to users of your system, and what is the cost for you to acquire them from visitor to user, and what is their usage frequency. Then we have third section of usage, monitoring demand and services types, usage frequency of services, and complaints or satisfaction with those provided services. Then we have reconsideration, conversion rate of users to regular users or loss rate of regular users, and you can reconsider to make things better. If there is dissatisfaction, you can check churn rate or traffic loss through user churn, and you need to find ways to prevent it, improve the things that are causing your users to leave your website, and you do it by recovery. Then you can check recovery rate and recovery cost. If the user is satisfied with the service handling and the outcome of the online interaction, the likelihood for reusing the e-government service offering increases. It is same for any e-commerce site. Therefore, the services offered need to be designed and provided in a way that satisfies user needs. Furthermore, this point of interaction should be used to examine the level of user satisfaction through user feedback. So getting feedback is important. As I already mentioned, the complaints is a good way that we can understand the areas that we can improve. So user feedback, complaint and controlling system that support constant monitoring and evolution of the service offering and its provision. This is of a particular importance since a dissatisfied user may not use the service again, may discourage others from using the service, or may even leave the entire platform. Usual performance indicators of the usage passage are the monitoring of the types of service demanded, the usage frequency of services used, as well as complaint and satisfaction user feedback concerning the services provided. Please read page 133 on Wirtz and Daiser book for extra information. The aim of reconsideration phase is to turn first user into loyal regular users. Key activities to achieve this aim are to maintain and intensify user preference, inform users about the new services and optimizations, and provide easy access and useful content for the repeated information and service usage. The conversion rate of users to regular users and the loss rate of regular users are typical performance indicators in the reconsideration phase. If users are not convinced of the service provision and enter dissatisfaction phase, actions to prevent upcoming user churn have to be initiated. First, the reasons for user lack of satisfaction and thus the rationale for the potential user churn have to be analyzed, and user surveys are helpful for this. In parallel, the company management should be improved and extended to gather additional information on potential hazards. Second, the identify issues and performance gaps have to be solved. Important performance metrics of this satisfaction phase are the churn rate and as well as the traffic loss through the user churn. And in the next step, user relationship management process enters the recovery phase. This means that dissatisfied users should be approached with the objectives of regaining user confidence and making the e-government service offering attractive again for the user. Key activities of this stage are the selection of recovery target groups, presenting optimized performance outcomes and benefits, and illustrating recovery incentive to the user. The recovery rate and the user recovery cost are the common performance indicators to measure the success of the activities in the recovery phase. In this figure, you can see the degree of interaction and complexity of the e-government practices, and e-government development stage model represents your stages. So in stage 1, there is presentation of the information. This is just static, there isn't personalization, it's just this digital provision of information, like opening hours of an agency. Then with the next stage, we go to digital communication. There is digital transformation of information. So citizen can send you email. Then next stage is transaction. Online transaction can be completed via the website. There is back office integration. So automatically you can change your address via the system. Then participation, active user participation in administrative processes such as e-voting or online poll for string naming. And stage 5 is open integration. There is direct user integration into administrative processes. There is joint decision making for urban development. And it is good if the decision makers use this approach because they will get and understand what their residents want and they will act accordingly. Because it's important for the public administration to act according to the needs and desires of the citizens. Otherwise, there may be consequences politically. Okay guys, for the discussion I have a screenshots for you from a Ministry of Health website. So the website is in Turkish. That is the one of the comments that we can criticize, and because there are a lot of English speaking residents in Cyprus, so English section should be added. But if you check the stages, they are more organized. Let's move to the next picture. The fifth tab is about online services, and within online services you can click on your test results. And then you are directed to the site where you can enter your personal information and transaction details. Then you can access the test result. It is an example for you within 3 steps. You can access the test results, but only concern is that the connection is not secure connection. It should be fixed by adding a secure layer. And last discussion questions for you. As I already mentioned, to what extent use time is important? If a user are able to complete a service in 2 minutes, do they need to really stay for 10 minutes and waste their time? Or completion of a, specific task is more important, so maybe we should consider it. Do we need user retention for one-off services? So if I will renew my driving license for 10 years and if I log into e-government site, do I need to log in back, or I can just get confirmation via email and maybe renew that service after 10 years time? Is it better to have on-demand e-government? So do always citizens need which is required? There's another comment. And what is the role of artificial intelligence and big data for user centricity? These are the some discussion questions for you, and we will discuss them on the online chat session. And you can see the references for this chapter. Please don't forget to stay safe by staying at your homes.